the Nigerian property developer with the Slovenian mobile phone number. It's a Monday morning and I'm on my way back from a nice job in London. Pleasant old couple en route to Brompton Hospital for a procedure. I dropped them off at around 11 o'clock. I'm offered a job from Gatwick, landing at around 12:55, with instructions to meet them at international arrivals with a name board. I figured, why not? Beats going back empty, and I'd have time for a coffee, some fuel and a bit of lunch beforehand. There's a fantastic website called Flight Radar which lets you track a plane's progress in real time. You can see when it touches down or if it's circling endlessly in the sky. Once a plane lands, passengers generally have their luggage and are ready to meet you in about 30 to 45 minutes. Assuming they're reasonably efficient and haven't dawdled or been held up in customs. Of course, sometimes luggage gets lost or things take longer than expected. In those moments, mobile phones really are a godsend. I had a name and a number. The man's name was Ole Buyemi. Name changed to protect the innocent or guilty. Pardon me. I had a phone number and a flight number. I knew he was coming in from Lagos via Doha on a Dreamliner aircraft. Something about his telephone number didn't sit right. The international code of this phone was Slovenian, which didn't really tally with a guy from Nigeria. In any case, there are exceptions. For all I know, he might do business in Slovenia and he simply picked up a cheap phone contract. Foreign phone numbers to us cab drivers are a bit wince-inducing. Calling them direct can be expensive, as can texting them. WhatsApp to the rescue. So after raising my concerns with the office and being told it was all good, I pump his number into WhatsApp. And his number's recognised. Bosh, get in. The photo, however, looks suspect. It's one of a white 40-something-year-old man sat in a red leather sports car wearing dark sunglasses, a cheesy suit and a wide grin. Maybe Ole was adopted, I say to myself. Perhaps his parents are Nigerians who settled in Slovenia. Stranger things have happened. I texted him via WhatsApp. The plane hadn't landed yet, but I figured that the plane being a Dreamliner and all, it might have Wi-Fi. And so I proceed to send my standard greeting. 12:09. Hi Ole, it's Rob here from the cab firm. Just to let you know, I've arrived at the airport. I'm having a coffee nearby. I just want to ensure that the number I have is correct, as the WhatsApp pic doesn't ally with your name. Smiley face emoji. Please let me know when you've read this message. Thanks. At this point, I'm not that bothered. I just have my doubts, that's all. So I'm trying to iron them out and prevent an issue down the line from happening. Making contact in this game is key. Once you've done that, the job is usually a doddle. I monitor the plane whilst I sit in the Tesco car park with my meal deal Costa coffee. Its original landing time has been put back. I can see it's now scheduled to land at 1:20. Oh well, no big deal, another half hour. The plane lands at 1:20. I'll give it 10 minutes or so, then I call the number that is. It rings 4 times and then it goes dead. I try again, 2 rings, then it hangs up. I figure he's busy faffing about on the plane, getting his stuff and all that. So message him again, this time injecting a little urgency. I get in touch with the office and tell them what I think. You don't want to enter an airport if you haven't made contact with a passenger. Sometimes people don't get on planes. The last thing you want to do is to stand in an airport lounge holding a name board for someone who isn't there. The car park meter is running and it goes up pretty quickly. The office call me back and tell me that the job was booked from the Slovenian number and to hold fire. Finally, the non-customer responds via WhatsApp. Great, I say to myself. My suspicions are confirmed. It always was a wrong number. Or he's pulling a fast one. Sometimes people book cabs and then speak to their mate or family member who tells them not to bother with a cab as they'll come and pick them up. Fair enough, usually, but for God's sake, tell the company and cancel the cab. Ain't hard, is it? Don't make us drive all the way to the airport for a no-show, as trust me, we won't be best pleased. I'm starting to get the hump, so call his number direct from my phone. Ring, ring, then engage tone. Subsequent messages sent aren't getting through either. Whoever this may be has now blocked me. Fucking hell. I message the office and suggest that they call this guy. I then call the office, mildly narked, as it's now 2:20 and I've been here 2 hours plus now. It's now 2:30. Suddenly the phone rings. It's the office telling me they have an irate, rude customer on the phone wondering where his taxi is. They tell me they've updated the job on my app with the correct number too. For fuck's sake. Thanks, I say, and proceed to call Ole, ready to rip him a new one if he decides to give me a hard time. I'm in no mood for more rubbish. Ole answers the phone with a strong, demanding Nigerian accent, asking me why I'm not there. Where are you? Where are you? He says. Fucking where am I? I explain rather firmly that had he provided the right number, then I'd have been able to call him earlier and get him home. Rather than be sat here for 2 hours wasting my time, he insists he had provided the right number. I advise him that the office are telling me differently. I cut him short. Listen, I say, something's gone wrong and we can't change that, so let's just all dial it down a bit and I'll come and find you. I suggest meeting him outside the Premier Inn Hotel in the drop-off zone of the North Terminal. Tell him where it is, but explain that he has to get there pronto, else it'll cost him more money. They give you 10 minutes and then it's £1 a minute. He misunderstands me and proceeds to inquire why that is. Why are you charging me more money? I'm like, for fuck's sake. He's not quite getting the fact that it'll only cost him more money if he dawdles or takes his time. I'll tell him to call me when he's actually there and I'll come and explain that it's literally a 2-minute walk from where he is now. He tells me he can see the Premier Inn Hotel, so I decide to drive around, telling him I'll be there in 2 minutes. I drive round to the Premier Inn Hotel and anxiously look around for him. Where is he? I'm saying, where is his car? He knows what car I'm in and I've given him my car reg. 5 minutes pass, no sign. I'm getting angsty now. So call him and tell him it's imperative he gets here sooner rather than later. He protests and tells me he's trying. I resist the urge to ask why he said he was there or that he could see the hotel when he clearly couldn't. I stay on the line and tell him what I look like and wave my hands around like this. There he is. He spots me at last. I put his cases in the back and we eventually depart at 2:45. We have a little semi-heated exchange, but both he and I eventually calm down. Someone in the office, the software I suspect, has messed up. It's not Ollie's fault. It's not my fault either. He sees my point of view as I explain that I'm self-employed and get no extra money for wasting my time either. We end up having a great conversation on the route back to Maidstone. We talk geopolitics, Putin, etc., Trump and all that nonsense, the problems of social media and the issue of polarised comms. Ken Saro-Wiyo, the atrocities of Shell and the plight of the Ogoni land people, whose environment has been trashed by the neglect of the companies and the governments that exploit them. I drop him off at 4 p.m. He rustles up the extra £6 for the drop-off fee and I'm there done for the day. No tip. Oh well.